Hi everyone, I'm back again today with a bit of a rambly video. I decided I just wanted to sit down and show you how to do really super glowy. My dog's licking her paw in the background, so that's what that noise is. Sorry. Molly, what are you doing? You licking your paw? You licking your paw? You making a noise? So I just wanted to sit down and show you super glowy skin with a strobing that everyone is obsessed with, and I didn't really want to do a voiceover or speed it up or anything. I just wanted to chat today, so I hope you enjoy. And here is how to get really super glowy strobing technique skin. So first of all, can we all just agree that the less said about this hair the better? I'm filming at a window and it's really bright, so if I'm squinting then that is why. I'm just going to pin my hair back a little bit so that it stays out of the way. So the first thing we want to do is prepare the skin. If you want really glowy skin, it needs to be well moisturised, whether you're oily or not. So pick moisturisers that are appropriate to you. I have dry skin, so I'm going in with the MAC Lightful 2-in-1. 2-in-1 tint and serum with radiance booster. I'm just using the serum. I have this in medium and it's a little bit dark for me, so please ignore my nails. They are disgusting. I had acrylics and now my own nails have all broken off. I'm very upset about it. Slightly bitter, and the less said about that, better. Then I'm going in with eye cream. This is the MAC Mineralised Eye Cream. I just felt like today I wanted to do a video that I didn't really edit too much. It was sort of chatty because I really like watching those kind of videos. And those are the videos that I'll often just have on in the background while I'm getting ready myself. So if you like hearing me talk, then you're in for a treat. Eye cream is on, and then I'm going in with moisturiser. I am using an old favourite, Le Creme Concentrate by Emrylise. This used to be really popular on YouTube. Everyone used to talk about it. It's a moisturiser that I keep in my makeup kit, but I only use it on myself now and again. This sits really well under makeup, but I wouldn't put it in the serious skincare category. So if you really love skincare, then there are plenty of other moisturisers that are better for the same price point. Okay, so skincare is on. Now if you had oilier skin, you could skip that last step and you could go straight on to something like this product. This is MAC Strobe Liquid. I actually prefer the Strobe Lotion, but I don't have any of it left. So I'm using the Strobe Liquid. This is oil free, so if you're oily you will like this. This is basically just a moisturiser with illuminating properties, so it makes your skin glowy. You can apply it as a highlighter or you can mix it in with foundation, but I like to apply it underneath. For me, because I'm so dry, I couldn't use this on its own. I need to have moisturiser underneath it. I will try and speed some of this up so that it's not so long. Okay, so the skin is on. I mean, the skincare is on, not the skin. I always have skin. And then I'm going to use, this is the MAC Mineralised Charged Water. You could just use water in a spray bottle or I normally like Fix Plus, I just went for this for a change, so I'm just holding this away from my face and spritzing it. Doesn't matter how much you prepare yourself for the spray, it's always a shock. So, the foundations I love to use for glowy skin is MAC Face and Body. Here it is here, this is the large size. I believe now it comes in a 50ml, but if you use it a lot or you're a makeup artist, then these are definitely worth it. 120ml, you cannot beat that. And I have the shade N1. My favourite way to apply face and body is with hands or with the Real Techniques buffing brush. So shake it up. Couldn't help myself. So I'm just applying a light layer of this all over. If you want me to show you how to get a really super glowy skin with full coverage foundation, then I can do that as well. But my personal favourite way is with face and body, which is obviously lighter. And although you can build this up, I understand that if you're someone that wears double wear or studio fix, then this is pretty much nothing for you. I'm just buffing it in. I just love that. I absolutely love face and body. And then I'm just going in with a second layer. I just put it onto my hand and then I go from there. So a great way to apply face and body is put it into the palm of your hands, start rubbing your hands together, and you'll start to feel the texture of it change. Face and body has film formers in it, similar to the kinds of film formers that are in lip stains. So it will start to set on the skin. So if you start rubbing it together, you're speeding up that process. So you'll feel it starting to rub together, and then that's when you apply it, and that's when you get more coverage from face and body. I have a mirror right here, and that's why I'm looking here and not here. So just make sure that's blended all over the skin, and that should have made your skin sort of even and a little bit more glowy. Oh, love face and body. So you can just keep building it up. I've got a little bit of redness in my cheeks and a little bit on my chin, so I'll normally put a little bit more there. To be honest, it doesn't really bother me, and I like a little bit of skin showing through, but I've got a little bit left on my hand, so I'm just going to build it up. At this point, I won't buff so much, I'll just tap. So you can do that with a beauty blender sponge as well. Just tap. Extra coverage. So then on, I'll use some concealer, and I'm using, you know this by now, if you watch my videos, this is the MAC Mineralized Concealer. It is my favourite. If you really wanted more coverage, then at this point you could go in with something like MAC Pro Longwear or the Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage, and you could really make your skin flawless. I'm just putting it where I need it, and I'm buffing it in with a good old MAC 217. And fingers. I think I always use my fingers when I'm blending in my concealer. I really want to try those little tiny beauty blenders, you know, the ones that they've brought out for concealer, because I love the beauty blender, but I find it a little bit awkward to get into the eye area. So let me know if you've tried. If you've tried those little tiny beauty blenders, because I would be interested to know if they're good. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but I've already got such a glow on the tops of my cheekbones just from the face and body. So at this point for me, that's it. Like, coverage is done. I'm happy. And now would be the time to go in and add a little bit of colour to my face, because obviously I have a little bit of a moon face. And if you're fair, then I think everyone likes to add a little bit of colour. So you could do that with normal powders, but if you want super glowy skin, then you don't want to do that. So you could go in with something like, I've showed you this before, this is the MAC Soleil Tan de Chanel. This would be perfect. I wanted to show you a technique that I like to use, and it is by using a darker shade of the MAC Face and Body to bronze. Makeup artists for a long time have used this all over the body. They use it to bronze up the skin, and I like to use it because it makes your skin, it keeps your skin really, really glowy. So I have the shades C4 and C7. I'll start with C4 and see if that's deep enough. You can see that there's C4. It's a lot darker than my skin. So I'll just start and just use it as a bronzer. And it adds warmth to your skin, but it keeps your skin really glowy and natural. I have these shades because I'm a makeup artist, but I understand that if you're the shade N1 and you're not a makeup artist, then you really don't need a big bottle of C7. But now that MAC do the face and body in smaller bottles, you could get a big bottle of your own shade and then just get a little bottle of a darker colour if you wanted to do this. Hope you can see that that has just added a little bit. I'm putting out just a tiny touch of C7. You would be surprised how much I actually use this. It's a fantastic shade. And even if you wanted to get a little bottle of that, if you love face and body, get a tiny bottle of something like C7 or N6 or one of the darker shades, and you can mix it in if you've got a little bit of colour. So this is C7, really dark. You can see how dark that is on my skin. I can't believe that everyone is going so crazy for this strobing, because before we all became obsessed with contour, before Kim Kardashian made us all obsessed with contouring, that's what we did anyway. You never used to contour. I don't ever remember being as obsessed with contouring. Just tapping that in, you could use a sponge to just tap it into the skin. So that's given a little bit of colour. I think the sun is bleaching me out so much that it's not even going to show you, but I'll try and take some photos and put them on my blog. I just this morning started my new website because I'm so bad at online, so bad at social media. I really am really bad at it. So I'm trying to get better. Part of my job is social media, so I think by the time I get home I just can't be bothered doing it. So now we'll move on to strobing, aka highlighting. So I think the trick with strobing is to layer the colour. So you want to start off with a cream highlight. Two of my favourites are the MAC Cream Colour Base. This is in the shade Luna, so this is great for my pale skin. But Hush is also a great colour. If you're really dark, then Improper Copper is phenomenal. But Hush Pearl is really popular, and this is also phenomenal. This is Illamasqua Cream Blusher in Lies. Oh my god, this is so amazing. I think I'm going to go with the Hush just because I want to layer. So the best way to apply these is just to warm them up with your finger. If you live somewhere that is hotter than the UK, then you probably don't need to do this. So we're just going on the very top of the cheekbone. I'll place it all first to show you. Underneath the eyebrow, on top of the eyebrow, down the centre of the nose, Cupid's bow. I do a little bit on the chin. If you're oily, then maybe you don't want to do that. And on the other cheekbone. And then just tapping that all in. You can do it with fingers, you can do it with a wet beauty blender. I'll just spray this with some water. I think personally I prefer, I use sort of this part of my finger. So I just press my I don't just use my fingertips, I use my whole finger just to press it all in. You can also do sort of the centre of your forehead. And again, just do it where you want to do it. If you know you get really oily in your nose, then maybe don't do it there. Oh, I love that. Hope you can see that glow. Here's a little bit of posy movement so you can see. Oh, this hair. Oh god. Okay. So, then you want to powder the skin if you're going to. I'm going to apply a little bit of, this is the MAC Mineralized Loose Powder. This is actually a foundation, so I'm only applying it really lightly, but it does give a little bit of coverage. I'm just using an Inglot 4SS brush. See how small that is for a powder brush, so it means you can just put it exactly where you need it. So I like to put it underneath the cheekbones because you don't want that area to be shiny. And if you're going to apply some contouring, then you don't want the product to stick. Just a little bit there. I apply it on my nose, under my eyes, I'll do a little bit on the eyelids, and then I'll do a little bit just through the T-zone. For me, even though I'm dry, I like a little bit of powder just to help lock my makeup in, but if you don't need powder, then you can skip that step. If you need 700 tons of Studio Fix powder, then you do you. But you can see that even the area, I mean, I've powdered my chin and you can still see the highlight. Well, I hope you can. So then I'm going to top that highlight with a powder highlighter, and that's just going to amp up the glow. I'm using the MAC 116, it's just a little flat brush. Oh, look at me, I'm a real blogger. I always see people doing that. Can you see it? Can you see it? So, lots of options. MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. The MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Global Glow. Gorgeous if you're a little bit... This is sort of a little bit too bronzy for me. If you're any darker than me, if you're NW50, NW25, NW30, NC30, all NC shades. Amazing. So many options. I'm going to use, this is the MAC eyeshadow in Nylon. Yep. In Nylon. I'm going to use this because it is really glowy and really shows up on my fair skin. If you're fair, then maybe you've ran into the same problem as me, that some highlights just don't make you look glowy enough because you're that fair. So I'm just placing it right on top of where I can see that highlight. I like to concentrate most of mine on the cheekbones. If you want to go in with a smaller brush, then go ahead and you can just apply it where you need it. I love the inner corners to apply this as well. I wouldn't apply the cream colour base in the inner corners because it will just crease like mad, and no one wants to have 800 creases in their eye. And then I'll just go in with the brush I applied to use my foundation. So you can see that highlight. I'll show you adding a little bit of blush and contour in case you want to do that, because I think strobing is lovely, but we're not all going to leave the house without a little bit of colour. If you prefer a matte blush, if you're oily, then maybe that's all the highlight you want to do. For me, I'm dry, so I know that I can get away with a lot of colour, with a lot of shimmer. So all the MAC mineralised blushes are fantastic. This is in the shade New Romance. I'm going to use a blush that I just picked up. I showed you it in a haul. This is by Revolution Makeup London. It's a Vivid Baked blush and the shade is Bang Bang You're Dead. You can see that. It's a gorgeous sort of pale pink and I love it. Just using that on a MAC 118, I think. I'm just using that just at the back of the cheek, just underneath that highlight. I like to just apply a little bit too much blush and then I buff it out. I know that's not how everyone does it, but that's how I like to do it on myself. And that's giving me just a little flush on the cheek. Warm Soul from MAC is also a great shade for this. And then I would just go in with a little bit of contour. This is the MAC Blush and Taupe. This is a good contour for me. You choose whatever works for you. And I'm using it on a MAC 186 brush. I'm just taking this back of the cheekbone, buffing that in. Don't go too mad and buffing it with the brush with the product on because you'll start to dull your highlight. So just place it on there with this brush. And maybe go back in with your foundation brush and just buff it out if you need to. I wouldn't go mad with contouring for this sort of look. I mean, love a bit of a chin contour. It's just not the sort of look that you would do Kim Kardashian highlight and contour for. And that's pretty much it. Really quick, super glowy. I'm just going to apply the rest of my makeup and I'll come back and show you. And I'll try and take some pictures so that you can really see that highlight. So I've applied the rest of my makeup. It's something just so simple because I'm going to the bank and then I'm working from home later, so I didn't really want to be going to the bank with a full cut crease on, so I just put a tiny bit of eyeliner on, mascara and a lip. But here is the finished makeup. The strobing, really super glowy skin. I hope you can see that glow. I've taken some pictures and I'll insert them here and I'll pop them onto my website because hopefully that will have been up and running by the time that this begins, by the time that I put this up. So I hope you enjoyed this and thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and leave me a little comment so that we can become best friends. Okay, so I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.